I know you're frustrated that your sourdough starter failed, but before you give up and never try again, let me offer the probable cause of your defeat and give you some tips so that your next attempt will be a success. Yes, a sourdough starter does rely on yeast and bacteria to create those lovely air holes, but we only want beneficial, not harmful bacteria to grow, so you absolutely must take cleanliness seriously. If you use a dirty jar, spoon, or hands when you're mixing together or feeding your sourdough starter, you are potentially introducing harmful bacteria which could overtake your starter. Not cool. If your tap water is treated with chlorine, do not use it to feed your starter. I live outside the city, so I can successfully use my tap water to feed my starter. But if your tap water is treated, make sure to use filtered water to feed your starter. Think about it, the purpose of chlorine is to kill pathogens, but it will also kill the beneficial yeast and bacteria in your starter. It will be dead in the water. By the way, please make sure that your water is no more than 110 degrees Fahrenheit or 43 degrees Celsius. If you go above that temperature, you're in the danger zone of killing off your starter. In the same way, using bleached flour can be hard on the good bugs in your starter. Bleach is antibacterial and it won't discriminate between good bacteria and bad bacteria. So purchase unbleached flour. And if you can, use organic unbleached flour since the pesticides in conventionally grown wheat can also harm your starter. But I feed it once a day, you say. That's good, but each starter is an individual. If your starter is really active and doubling 2 to 4 hours after feeding it, you may need to increase the feedings to twice a day in order to keep your starter alive. This usually occurs either if you're feeding your starter 100% whole wheat flour or if your house is really warm. Whole wheat flour and a really warm environment both encourage your starter to be very active. Think about it, when you're really active, doing a lot of exercise, you get more hungry, and in the same way, your starter will be more hungry if it's more active. Now, I've successfully made a sourdough starter from scratch in Minnesota in the winter, so I believe that you should also be able to get a starter going in a chilly house. However, it will take it longer to get established. So if your sourdough starter recipe says that it'll only take 5 to 7 days in order for it to get going, expect it to take several days longer than that. It took me 10 days to establish a starter in the winter, and it could take you up to 14. So just keep feeding your starter regularly and it should be fine. Don't give up until you've fed it consistently for at least 2 full weeks. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and make sure to watch this video next to get the step-by-step process for making your own sourdough starter from scratch.